Welcome to Discovery Watch with John Kaiser.
I'm your host, Jim Goddard. Welcome back to the show, John.
Jim, good to be back.
John, in mid-August, New Legacy Gold traded as low as 13 cents, but has since bounced back to 20 cents after raising $2.5 million at 20 cents. Is the Red Hill project in Nevada alive and well?
Well, Jim, at the end of last year, it didn't look like the Red Hill project was doing very well. At the start of 2017, there had been high hopes that these IP chargeability anomalies seen at depth below the north and central iceberg zones could potentially be sulfide feeder zones with higher grade Carlin type mineralization. But the drilling underneath that did not deliver anything of the sort. That delivered something interpreted as, well, maybe on the edge of something. And by the end of the year, the company was talking about, well, we are going to finally work on a resource estimate for the iceberg zone, which, runs 0.8, 0.9 grams per ton. It is oxidized material. It is close to surface, probably a fairly high strip ratio. And that is sort of more an optionality type play. But one of the positive things that they did achieve during last year's drilling was they discovered the Serena zone, which is associated with what they call a long fault. It's an east-west oriented fault, and it cuts through the north-south oriented iceberg system, which they call the iceberg fault, and they got some interesting grades in the Serena zone. So this year they wanted to go back with a 15,000 meter or 12,000 meter drill program. They were going to start in March, but the winter was pretty severe in Nevada this year, and they did not get started drilling until May. Now they've tackled two prongs with this year's work. The first focus, and they reported results on August 27th for the Serena drilling, and the other focus has been to look at the area between the iceberg zone, which is in the outcropping part of that Red Hill project, and the avocado anomaly, which is several kilometers across the valley under the gravel covered material. And there, a couple of years ago, they had intersected Carlin type mineralization and alteration, but the gold grades were low, 0.3 grams per ton, doesn't make a deposit, but they thought that we're on the edge of something. It was a big IP anomaly. And so they went in there and drilled 4 holes there, 2 to the southwest of the avocado zone, and a couple to the north of the iceberg zone. All 4 of those holes at best yielded anomalous gold along with the Carlin Pathfinder elements, and this is like more of the same. But one of the things they observed is that there was a Devil's Gate Formation limestone present in this area, and based on their understanding of the geology in the area, they've come to the conclusion that the really good host rocks, the Wenban carbonates, they're farther to the west, and they will be needing to move their rigs farther west to chase the system, and they keep talking about being on the edge of the system. But what got the market cheered up last week was the intersection from the Serena zone, and this was a 100-meter step out, and it's associated with a low angle fault, and that's also dipping, and they managed to intersect 8.7 meters of 17 gram per ton gold at a depth of 284 meters. Now, obviously, this is not going to be an open pittable resource, but at that sort of grade, this is what has them, reaffirm their optimism that there is another Gold Rush system to be found in this project. And Gold Rush, it's this unusual 4-kilometer long brecciated body that's got 10 million plus ounces of 10 gram per ton gold. This is what they are stocking, and the focus, obviously with the iceberg outcropping, that was the initial focus, but they seem to be thinking that as we move farther west within the Red Hill program, we are starting to see more and more of the earmarks of the geological context of the gold rush system. And Ed Cope, who joined the company in early 2017, he used to be the exploration North American Exploration VP for Barrick. He's running the program now. There are other Barrick people involved. Barrick is the second largest shareholder in the company. It sold its 30% interest, for which it did have a back-in right. It sold it to the company a couple of years ago for 32 million shares. And this project, in my view, it's time to start paying attention to it again. They only have a modest warrant overhang. There's 350 million shares fully diluted. The recent financing, management did participate in it, so they probably have about $6 million in the treasury, so they can keep drilling. They had a late start this season, but the whole Red Hill project, the geological context, where they should be drilling, it's all gradually starting to take shape. We can't say we have yet the definitive no-brainer discovery, but the results suggest we're getting closer to finally having something where it becomes a mechanical process of drilling off a major gold deposit.
We'll have more with John Kaiser right after the break.
Aben Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia, Saskatchewan, and the Yukon. Trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the pink symbol ABN-AF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Aben's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at abenresources.com.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp., RMO, on the TSX Venture Exchange. Rainy Mountain's Brunswick property is located in the Rideout Shear Zone in Ontario, with grab samples running as high as 32 grams per ton gold. A follow-up drill program to test numerous targets located by recent groundwork is planned for early 2018. Please visit our website at rmroyalty.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with John Kaiser. John, a couple of weeks ago, a junior called Great Bear Resources jumped from just under 50 cents to as high as $2 after publishing high-grade gold results for its Dixie project near Red Lake in Ontario. Is Dixie an emerging discovery?
I believe that the Dixie project, which is located about 15 kilometers southeast of the Red Lake deposit of Goldcorp, deserves to be monitored very closely. Now, when a stock jumps this much, it was trading 30, 50 cents range before the news came out. It jumped over $1 and traded as high as $2. When you see that, you say, oh, I missed the boat. It's all over. Now, the geological context, it is one where there's been many, many holes drilled into this Dixie system. It's a, classic mesothermal high-grade quartz vein systems similar to Red Lake. But Red Lake, when you go back 20 years, and Rob McEwen had that project, and he did that contest to see where did the high-grade gold end up? Is this thing truly just this spent, mined-out system? And the result of that was this fabulous discovery of very high-grade gold that has enabled Goldcorp to produce 300,000 ounces a year of high-grade gold from that Red Lake system. So what Chris Taylor, the CEO of Great Bear, and his VP of Exploration, Bob Singh, did is we're not sure that this Dixie project has been properly interpreted, and they were also suspicious about some of the results, historical results. So they've gone in there and they've rethought this whole project, and they've used oriented core to figure out the structures, and they've encountered what they call a D2 fold hinge. It is basically a bend in the geology where the mineralization can get very rich, and they reported 2 holes a couple weeks ago which finally caught the market's imagination. One was number 3, over almost 23 meters. They had 19 grams per ton gold, and the other one, number 4, was 7 meters of 44 grams per ton gold. And within each of those, the first one had a 1 meter interval of 112 grams. That's like 3.5 ounce gold. And the other one had a 224 gram per ton 1 meter interval. So these are very high grade mineralization. And the news attracted the attention of Rob McEwen, who basically became the powerhouse in the mining sector as a result of the Goldcorp's discovery at Red Lake. And the company has raised $10 million at $1.45 with a warrant at $1.75. And Rob McEwen has personally put up $4.8 million of that, and McEwen Mining has put up $1.2 million of that. So those together have put up $6 million of the $10 million financing. The rest is being placed by IBK. And the question, the stock has gone up 3-4 times in very short order. But when you do the fully diluted, you realize there's only 45 million shares fully diluted. And even at $2, that's a $90 million valuation. And if indeed the Dixie is another Red Lake type situation, capable of churning out a couple 100,000 ounces of high grade gold a year, the upside is still another tenfold or better. Now they need to demonstrate that they don't just have a localized pocket of several 100,000 ounces of very, very high grade gold, and that's of course why the stock is sort of paused in this $1.75 range. The stock is also right now dealing with there's 10 million warrants, which the highest is up at 70 cents that are now in the money. They're all sort of unrestricted. The private placement hold periods have ended, and 4 million of those between sort of 20 and 50 cents expire in September. So the market has to digest this. So the stock has kind of paused here while we wait for the market to digest these warrants, which will put some extra money in the treasury, and possibly even those other ones that have a longer life to 2019 and 20. And then see if further results start showing that, yes, we have their interpretation that they found something special that's very high grade enriched is correct. And with the $10 million in the treasury, they will be able to carry on. So yes, this is definitely an emerging discovery that we should watch very carefully.
We'll have more with John Kaiser right after this.
MGX Minerals is revolutionizing the new energy economy with patented lithium extraction technology, replacing traditional solar evaporation using low-cost, low-energy nanofiltration. The first system of this paradigm shift technology is currently being commissioned. MGX Minerals trades on the CSE, symbol XMG, the OTCQB, symbol MGXMF, and Frankfurt, symbol 1MG. For more information, visit our website, mgxminerals.com.
I'm Brian Fowler, president of Blind Creek Resources Limited, listed on the TSX Venture Exchange, ticker symbol BCK. Blind Creek is focused in the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and British Columbia. The company's key property is the Blend Project, one of the largest undeveloped lead-zinc-silver deposits in Western Canada, plus plans to advance the recently acquired, fully permitted historic engineer gold mine in the Atlan District of Northwestern BC. Check us out at blindcreekresources.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with John Kaiser. John, Sun Metals just added a second rig to its 15,000 meter Stardust drilling program, but the stock has fallen below 14 cents. Is this exploration play already a bust?
Jim, it can't be a bust already unless somebody actually has a crystal ball and can see the future. The company had a late start with its $5 million, 15,000 meter drill program. They wanted to get the geophysics done, and they had delays. They didn't start drilling until the second week of August. And a couple of weeks ago, they announced that they were adding a second rig to the project. So the first rig is basically probing the down plunge extension of the existing resource, where the goal is to double the resource. This is a CRD system with high copper and gold values. But the second rig is now going to tackle the additional geophysical targets that showed up as a result of the geophysical survey done in July. And that has just barely begun. So nobody knows anything about, potentially negative, how this is not going to deliver. The real problem is that a 25 million unit financing at 25 cents with a 5-year 35-cent warrant, it has just come free trading. And, at 12, 14 cents, somebody today dumped 400,000 shares. They're taking a 50% loss. But the market mood out there is so negative, so pessimistic. The whole resource sector is behaving like a canary in the gold mine. In the senior markets, everything is still going well. The cannabis sector has come alive again and is making new highs. But people are frightened about what's going to happen later this year in the bigger picture, and they're taking their money and running. In early August, Sun Metals did drop as low as 12 cents when also somebody, not a huge amount, but dumped stock. And that was probably linked to a 5-cent financing done amongst 32 people, 15 million shares as part of the original get this whole thing going when they optioned the Lorraine Copper's Stardust project last year. But this 25 million unit financing, that was scattered by 8 different brokerage firms amongst 165 placees. And it's a similar situation to what we saw with Inzinc Mining and its West Desert project, where they did 35 million units at 10 cents. And the pessimism out there is so deep they don't even want to wait for results. They want to clip their warrant, flip the stock, and be done with it. This does create an opportunity for bottom fishers who are looking at a project, a major project, good geologists, good people in there, rethinking the $10 million worth of exploration done in the past, which was done without, a very clear picture of what was taking shape as they poked away each year with another modest drill program. This is a serious attack at this project to turn it into hit that critical mass of at least 5 to 10 million tons of ore grade mineralization so that they have a development play on its hand. So no, there's no chance that it is already a bust. This story has just begun, and bottom fishing seems to be coming early this year.
John, thanks a lot for the update.
You're welcome, Jim.
I'm Jim Goddard. We've been speaking with John Kaiser, his website, kaiserresearch.com.
Comments made on Discovery Watch are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at howstreet.com. Discovery Watch is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.